I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you watch this transmission. Guys, I am transmitting a very important transmission here today. Very important that you guys get this out or discuss this or comment below or share this, or I don't care, man, or look up other information on this because it's very important. And this is it's happening in the United States, and it's gonna sweep across. This reform needs to be, now that there's protests in every country, English-speaking country, protests of a death that happened in another country, it's time that we now start sweeping laws. And what's the new law that they're sweeping? Well, congressional Democrats to unveil sweeping U.S. police reform proposal after Floyd's death. See? You get one psycho cop, one guy that's committing some trouble, and you got sweeping laws right across. You got problems right across. And it affects everybody. So it takes away more from the average citizen than the bad guys or the will ever get in return. So you see what I'm saying, right? All right. Let's get some water there beside me. Let's go to, there it is on the Washington Post, guys. Man, so National Post, sorry, I think it's probably, do I have it on the Washington Post? No, it's National Post, but it's still unclear exactly where things are headed, but this is how things start, guys. Remember, it goes from a discussion piece, then it gets sent in, then it gets repositioned, then a few riots, and then it gets, then look at this, and look what you guys are doing, and then it gets put into law. So let me open this up here through article scan so you guys can see it too. There it is. There's the title. Congressional Democrats to unveil sweeping U.S. police reform proposal after Floyd death. So let's adjust that there. Washington, United States, Congressional Democrats on Monday plan to unveil a sweeping package, which is today, of legislation to combat police violence and racial injustice after 2 weeks protests across the nation sparked George Floyd's death in Minneapolis police custody. The proposal is expected to ban police chokeholds and racial profiling. That's good. Chokeholds, not necessary, but sometimes when you got to bring someone down, realistically, like someone that's out of control, require a nationwide use of body cameras. Okay, so they've a lot of police have protested against using body cameras, right? Subject police to civilian review boards and abolish the legal doctrine known as qualified immunity, which protects police from civil litigation, according to congressional sources. So what police need to do now, what they have to start doing, is going from the level 100, okay, level 100, going, full blast, chasing somebody down, to 0, pretty much on a dime. They need to go from 100 to 0. They need to just retard their anger, retard their personal, just bring it all back. And that's what needs to be done with the police. So the sweeping reforms, let's keep going. It's time for police culture in many departments to change, Congressional Black Caucus Chairwoman Representative Karen Bass told CNN on Sunday. She added that she hoped that the wave of largely peaceful protests seen across the United States over the past 2 weeks would increase pressure on lawmakers to act. I don't think it's too much of a lawmakers to act. I think it's more in the police themselves and having a sit down and telling them, look, we understand you have personal issues coming into this job. We understand that you have a home to go to after this job, and you have also issues to go, right? Guys, we're living in an affordability level right now, where people are buying homes in America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. They're buying homes to invest in them, and they don't even live in those countries. They're buying those homes just so they could say that they have investment properties overseas. And we're talking about tens of thousands and millions of homes that are purchased. And the locals can't get in. And this is affecting everybody. It's affecting the police. It's affecting doctors that go to work every day wondering, oh my God, I can't even pay my rent and I'm a damn doctor. So this is gripping. So when I say police go home with issues, I'm not talking about family issues. I'm talking about financial problems, right? We're in a real moment in our country the passion that people are displaying, Bass added. That is going to lay the basis for the momentum for us to bring about the change we need to do. House of Representative Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, and Senator Kamala Harris, along with Bass, are expected to discuss the bill at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. So that is happening right now as we speak. It is unclear if the proposal will receive support from the Republicans who control the U.S. Senate. Their support that Republican President Donald Trump would be needed for the measure to become law. Floyd's death in Minneapolis, where a police officer knelt on his knee for nearly 9 minutes, was the latest in a string of killings of black men and women by U.S. police, have sparked anger on American streets. Fresh calls for reform. So at least, well, at first it was a white cop, and then they're starting to see that there's a lot of police imbalanceness. And it's not just the white, it's all the cops. And all the cops are stressed, right? So here we go with Politico. Politico saying the same thing. And it's just a cut and paste article. So all the other ones. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there's more here on this one here with Al Jazeera. Democrats to unveil sweeping U.S. police reform plan. Live update. So here it is. U.S. Congressional Democrats plan to unveil a sweeping package of legislation to combat police violence and racial injustice after 2 weeks of protests. Okay, so it goes right here. The Minneapolis City Council said it wants to disband the city's police department after days of protests over the killing of Floyd, who died after a city police officer knelt on his knee. We got that. U.S. President Donald Trump has ordered the withdrawal of the National Guard troops from the streets of Washington, D.C. So, sweeping changes. Whoa, nice hair. So let's go over here. And I wanted to go to the most important one. Oh, Zero Hedge. Now, Zero Hedge has a really good way of getting to the point and what they want to do. So with Zero Hedge, so sweeping policies. So I totally agree with the police going off the handle. I'm on that right there. I totally agree. What do you guys think? I totally agree because there's I guess it's having a good sit down in the police stations and basically saying if you do this or demonstrate this, go ahead. I totally agree that the police need to have recorded cameras. And I'll tell you why I agree with it. It's because they're public servants. Our tax dollars are funding police, right? For basically doing their jobs. And it actually makes sure that the police are properly doing their jobs. And it makes sure that when the police file their reports, they don't have to file a report anymore. They can start filing a digital log now. The digital log will say everything. And they don't have to be stuck behind desks doing paperwork 24/7. So Democrats unveil sweeping police reform again, ending qualified immunity. A push for abolishing police departments intensifies. Democrats led by the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just unveiled a sweeping police reform bill that they've been talking about all weekend. The Justice for Policing Act 2020 would ban chokeholds, establish a national database to track police misconduct, and prohibit certain no-knock warrants among a long list of other reforms. So this is actually good, right? So this is actually very good. If passed, the bill would also expand Department of Justice power. Now, here's the key now. If passed, the bill would expand Department of Justice powers to investigate and prosecute police misconduct, a capability that has been undermined by the Trump administration, the document said. So they're starting to go into, which needs to be, right? Again, public servants, right? Not private. It will grant subpoena power to the department's Civil Rights Division to conduct a pattern of practice investigations and grant subpoena power to the state's attorney's offices to do the same. Before unveiling the details of the legislation, congressional Dems knelt for 8... Okay, we got that. The bill is expected to release later Monday, and the House Judiciary holds its first hearing on the issue of police reform on Wednesday. So this is very important, people, because, again, police need to find a way to go from 100 to 0. That's the key. Like, the last thing, you want police to do is, start, doing what they do at checkpoints and then having to put people in chokeholds and all that stuff. I've seen it. Like, I've seen it here in Canada. I've seen it here in Canada many times, right? I've seen that I can't breathe scenario many times here in Canada. So this started out as something that the Democrats were going to unveil, and looking like it's going to go down a path of more disassembly, but it's going to basically, in a good way, watch the watchers. So the watchers that watch us will be watched. So the watchers are watching the watchers, so to say. And I'm for this. I believe in this. Again, public servants, right? Bounty hunters, different story. People working under different jurisdictions, different story. But when it's public servants that represent the taxpayers to serve and protect, you are looking at a completely different story, my friends. But here's the deal now. Right? So don't everybody get your socks in a bunch here, or your I don't know how the saying goes, but there's other stuff on that list, and that's the key. What's on that list, right? So far, I'm kosher with everything, chokeholds, all this other crap, right? I don't think it's this whole black versus white thing, right? I don't think it's been like that since the 60s and 70s. There's cases, yeah. Oh yeah, there's cases. Oh, yeah, there's cases. Well, there's a loony cop, right? Right? There's always going to be a loony cop out there, right? Always going to be a loony cop. Walking the beat, driving his car, in a helicopter somewhere, or on a computer. There's always going to be one. But police need to learn to go from 100 to 0 overnight. I mean, over a thousandth of a second. Need to learn to retard their anger when the situation, oh, Mike, what are you saying? People can't get angry anymore? No, but not trumping on other people's rights, civil rights, and people's, people shouldn't be in fear to go out because they're worried about the police. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I really appreciate, your support in this. And let me know. I think this is finally qualified immunity. Let's reform this. Let's actually bring it to the front and actually take care of the citizens, that are paying for this infrastructure. Let me know. Comment below. Lots of love, guys. And guys, don't forget to set your reminders to upcoming live shows. Thanks for watching.